close is he to a title shot in sharing the ring with Bud Crawford?
I don't know. But Vergil, he's right there. He's right there. He's been proven that he belongs with the top fighters in the division. And, who knows, a couple of fights or next fight or whatever the case may be, he might be sharing the ring with Terence Crawford. You never know.
Victory, he just beat Canelo, the face of boxing, so that makes Canelo, that makes Crawford the face of boxing at the moment. And he earned the right to fight whoever he want to fight.
In Terence, if you come to 154, is there a chance? Was that the conversation you had?
Basically, I just said, hey, are you going to defend it? And he said, no, that's my last fight at the Canelo. I'm like, okay.
Terence Crawford answers Vergil Ortiz's call-out by acknowledging him as a talented fighter who's showing the world what he can do. He speaks warmly about Ortiz's rise, saying the young contender truly has what it takes to stand among the best. When asked about facing him, Crawford just smiles and hints that the future holds its own mysteries.
It's uncertain.
What's your message now to Terence Crawford?
I'm here whenever. I'm ready to fight whenever. I'm here to fight anybody. I don't care if it's Crawford, Spence, Packard.
Vergil Ortiz calls out Terence Crawford, declaring his mission to take on the very best in the game. He says challenges like Crawford push him to evolve, to keep sharpening his craft, and to prove he belongs among the elite. Confident in his power and progress at 154, Ortiz makes it crystal clear, he's coming for the big names next.
Look, I'm here to fight the best. I don't care who it is. It can be Oops next, it can be Spence next, it can be Crawford next, if he's still willing to do it. Because, that's a fight that I've been calling for a while. I think that's a great fight to make happen still. And we're just going to keep doing what I do best.
Vergil Ortiz speaks with unwavering confidence, saying that even if Terence Crawford were still in his absolute prime, he could take him down. Ortiz explains how he studies every detail of Crawford's game and respects everything the legend has built. Yet he believes deeply in his own power, speed, and timing. To him, confidence isn't arrogance, it's proof of the grind he's put in since moving up in weight. Many call it a daring claim, given Crawford's dominance across divisions and his spot among the best pound-for-pound fighters alive. But Ortiz insists Crawford isn't untouchable, certain he can spot the openings others missed. His words light a fire among fans and experts, sparking debate over whether the young contender truly has what it takes to stand toe-to-toe with a proven champion like Crawford.
5 fighters that you would like to fight coming up.
So we got Tim Tszyu, we got Crawford, Spence, or I guess you can say the winner of Spence or Fundora. Charlo's is a good one. Who else we got at 54?
You want to fight Terence Crawford right now?
I would love to fight him, man. I think he's like probably the #1 pound-for-pound fighter right now.
Do you think he's out of his peak?
No.
Or is he in his peak now?
I think he's in his peak.
And you're saying you could be the peak prime Terence Crawford?
I'm saying I believe that I can.
I respect it 100%.
I believe that I can. No, I respect him as a fighter, though. That's the thing. When I want to fight people, it doesn't mean that, I don't like you. Like, let's get it on. It's more like I respect your skills, and I want to see if I can beat you.
After Vergil Ortiz beat Israil Madrimov, fans were quick to stack his performance against Crawford's own fight with the same opponent. Terence Crawford didn't shy away from the talk, he addressed it head-on, saying that while Ortiz won, he didn't look truly dominant. Crawford noted that Madrimov didn't seem as sharp or well-conditioned as he was during their bout. In Crawford's view, Madrimov wasn't at his peak that night, and Ortiz's victory didn't reveal much about how he'd handle a top-tier fighter like him. His tone stayed calm but carried quiet confidence, a reminder that he still sees himself on another level. Fans read it as a subtle message, that while Ortiz is gifted, Crawford's precision, composure, and fight IQ are what keep him apart from the pack.
But he just, he was more prepared for my fight. If you watch him, he was winning the fight, and he gassed out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. He gassed out, and he said from, I don't know what type of sickness he had.
So condition-wise, he wasn't as prepared.
Yeah, that he had to pull out the first fight and come back. I don't know, but Vergil did good. He put a lot of pressure on him, and he fought a good fight. But you could tell that he didn't leave unscarred.
Unscathed.
When you look at the faces of both fighters, you would have thought Vergil lost.
Oh, okay. He did hurt his hand. His knuckle was broken. I don't know if you've seen him the last couple of Vergil.
Yeah.
Ortiz, yeah, he had a broke hand, but he said he didn't know anyway. He didn't feel it throughout the fight.
It was a good fight. I thought Madrimov was doing too much moving.
Right.
You know, in the beginning rounds, which that was getting him the rounds in the bank, but at the same time, he was exerting too much energy.
How do you feel about when people say, because Eddie Hearn said it, a few people were saying it, that you moved up to 154 and you didn't have the success that you had in all these times. So they're thinking it's because of the weight, when I'm saying it's the style. Majimov wasn't trying to commit as much, and you hurt him, he never hurt you.
Right.
So how do you feel about everybody saying that?
Well, I laugh. I won the fight. They making it seem like I lost.
Well, Eddie was like, no, I think that night in August, he was like, no, I don't know about that. I think, no, Eddie was, I believe Eddie was saying that. Eddie
was complaining about the scorecards. Nobody said Majimov
Eddie was saying that it was closer than that. Maybe Majimov could have won. He was saying, I think he was. I think he was.
He's trying to get you mad at Eddie.
No.
Terence Crawford's next big chapter is already set in motion. He's gearing up to face Carlos Adams on March 28 in Omaha, marking his bold leap into the 160 pounds division. Crawford has said he'll stay at this weight for a fight or two, chasing another world title and the chance to become a 3-division undisputed champion. Adams, known for his raw power and unbreakable stamina, stands as a perfect first test for Crawford at middleweight. The matchup brings real excitement, but also stirs questions about whether he'll ever drop back to 154 to face names like Vergil Ortiz or Jaron Ennis. For now, Crawford's eyes are locked on adapting to this new weight and proving his brilliance can shine even against naturally bigger men. Many analysts agree, if he conquers this next challenge, his legacy as one of boxing's all-time greats will only grow stronger.
Have Terence Crawford in their sights because they all understand that Terence Crawford can drop down to middleweight after defeating Canelo in September and becoming the undisputed super middleweight. Terence Crawford can now drop down to middleweight, 160, right? And become undisputed at 160 with 1 to 2 fights. 2 fights max, right? He'll be 39 years old in September. 2 fights, Terence Crawford can become undisputed, max, at 160. He can fight Carlos Adames in March. And then he can fight the winner of Lara versus Janibek in the summertime, August, right? And this gives Terence Crawford the history he needs to 1000% cement himself as, in my opinion, it's all opinionated, but this just cements Terence Crawford as top 5 greatest boxers in history, in my opinion. It cements him as top 5 greatest boxers in history because this will make Terence Crawford a 6-division champion and 4-division undisputed champion. That's what that makes Terence Crawford. That's historic. That's absolutely historic. And if Terence Crawford can pull that off, becoming a 6-division champion and a 4-division undisputed champion, that's massive, right? In my opinion, those accomplishments in the fashion that Terence Crawford wins these fights, he's not just winning. When he beat Errol Spence for undisputed, he dominated and stopped Errol Spence in a manner not many people saw coming. When he fought Canelo Alvarez, he did exactly what I thought he was going to do, dominate that fight, make it look easy.
In my opinion, this moment truly cements Terence Crawford as one of the top 5 greatest boxers in history. It's all opinionated, of course, but this achievement would make him a 6-division champion and a 4-division undisputed champion. That alone is historic, absolutely historic. And if Crawford can actually pull it off, becoming a 6-division champion and a 4-division undisputed champion, that's monumental. To me, the way he wins matters just as much as what he wins. When he beat Errol Spence for the undisputed title, he didn't just win, he dominated and stopped him in a way no one expected. And when he faced Canelo Alvarez, he did exactly what I predicted, took control, made it look effortless, and proved his greatness once again. Meanwhile, Vergil Ortiz has long voiced his desire to face Crawford, but rumors claimed the WBO had offered him the fight twice and that he turned it down both times. Ortiz later denied those claims outright, saying he never received any official offer. According to him, if that opportunity had really been on the table, he would have accepted without hesitation. He expressed frustration that such false stories spread so quickly, insisting that neither he nor his team ever rejected a fight with Crawford. Ortiz made it clear he respects what Crawford has achieved and sees that fight as a defining moment in his career, not something to shy away from. His response helped clear the air for fans who believed he dodged the matchup. Ortiz emphasized that timing and proper setup matter, but the desire to face Crawford has always burned strong.
You know, a lot of people wanted to see that fight, you against Terence Crawford. You know, when you was at welterweight, and obviously you couldn't stay at that weight class, but then he moved up. Was there ever a point where the Terence Crawford fight was a reality, like a real offer, like real negotiations going back and forth, or was it never that close?
It was never that close, man. So, you know, I know a lot of people say that the WBO president said that we turned on the fight. I never got an offer. I wouldn't have said no. I would not have. I wanted that fight so bad. I mean, I'm not the type of person to say, I want to fight this guy and keep pushing it and then get the opportunity and say no. There are fighters like that. I'm not like that.
Yeah,
you know,
we believe that.
I would have said yes.
Believe that.
But
what about your trainer, Robert? Have you ever had a conversation with him about the Terence Crawford fight?
More with my dad.
Okay.
More with my dad. You know, there were some days where he'll be like, you beat him if you fight like this, or if you fight like this, you don't beat him. So,
really? Your father really said
he would tell me. No, he tells me the truth. He tells me the truth. If you fight him like this, you beat him. Other days, you're not gonna beat him like this.
You know, you might not remember, but when we had our show, I believe it was called Sweet Scientist at the time with The Zone, and we had you on, and you were one of our first guests, and I asked you about Crawford, and you was like, nah, not yet. I'm not ready for him. You know, that was humble. No one really speaks like that. Now, you was ready for him maybe about 6 months later, but still you were humble enough to say that. Do you remember that?
I don't.
You know,
no, I don't.
Hell no, you can't.
Jaron Ennis, another standout at super welterweight, has also voiced his interest in taking on Terence Crawford. Still, he admits that after Crawford's stunning win over Canelo Alvarez, the veteran became the face of boxing, meaning the next move is in Crawford's hands. Ennis has praised Crawford's accomplishments but made it clear he's ready whenever the champion is. He explained that he doesn't chase fights out of desperation, but he knows that stepping into the ring with Crawford would be a chance to prove himself against one of the sport's sharpest technicians. Fans viewed his comments as both respectful and bold. As Ennis balances admiration with ambition, the story took another turn after Vergil Ortiz's most recent win, when Ennis stepped into the ring. The two exchanged words in a friendly yet charged moment, instantly sparking talk of a future showdown. That face-to-face showed the energy and tension already brewing between two of boxing's brightest contenders. Ennis, who currently holds the WBA super welterweight title, had hinted even before his bout with Erickson Lubin that he wanted to clash with one of the sport's biggest names. Seeing Ortiz and Ennis share that ring gave fans real hope for what could become one of boxing's biggest events in 2026, a meeting between two rising stars who understand that their legacies depend on making the fights fans truly crave.
Sure. And I think this is one of the best like American fights that can be made.
For sure.
And with all due respect to everyone else around the world, I think it has to be in America.
For sure.
Right?
It gotta be. I feel like you gotta do this one in the States because everybody wanna see it. Everybody go. I think it's a pay-per-view fight for, and I think everybody will pay to see it, or everybody will come out to come see it wherever it's at, whether it's in Vegas, Madison Square Garden, wherever it's at.
What's your obviously you'd love it in Philly, but I don't think it'll be Philly, right?
No, absolutely.
Okay,
it's not gonna be in Philly, yeah.
So where is the ideal spot for it? What deserves to host this fight? Which venue in your opinion?
To me, either anywhere in Vegas, so like a T-Mobile Arena,
yeah,
or maybe go old school MGM.
Oh man, I love the MGM.
Or we can go Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
I think Madison Square Garden would be crazy as well. That'd be historic as well. So either one.
There aren't enough big fights at the big MSG.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the theater.
No,
Theater's
I'm talking
cool.
about the big one.
Yes,
I'm talking about the big one. That's why I say I always wanted to fight at MSG anyway. So, I like how it looks in there. It's real.
It's
really
incredible.
nice. When they have fights and stuff in there. So, for me, it would be either the T-Mobile Arena or take it back. We can go old MGM, or we can do, Madison Square Garden.
Do you think he would say yes to MSG because that's kind of a home game for you, right? That's so close to Philly.
I mean, I feel like he has a deep fan base. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like all his fans and stuff will come. If it was to be in New York, I feel like they all would come. You know, he got a good fan base. I got a good fan base. I feel like it'll make for a great fight. And who don't want to come to New York?
Oh my God. There was a time where MSG was holding all these big fights, hosting, and now I feel like, you know, every couple of years when we got Taylor Serrano. Prior to that, it was, you know, Brooklyn's cool and all, but we got to go back to the Mecca. The Mecca is the best. I would absolutely love that. In your perfect world as well, he fights November 8th.
Yep.
How soon could we get this fight? You obviously didn't get hurt in your fight, I would imagine, right? 72 seconds?
Yeah.
Unless something happened?
I mean, it depends on how his fight go. You know, if he's in a war, maybe we'll see. Maybe April, March, April. You know, if not, if he make quick work of it, who knows? We could be back in there sooner. You know, so it's all for real. It's all up to how him right now, because he the one that has a fight. You know, hopefully he doesn't get no cuts, no broken hands or anything, or anything hurt on him. So it's dependent on him at the moment.
The other two options, of course, Sebastian Fundora and I think Xander Zayas.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is there is some interest from MSG to have you versus Xander Zayas at MSG. Are you hearing this as well?
I'm with whatever. That's what I can't wait.
You want all these guys? I like these options for you.
I'm really about to show y'all. Like I'm about to run through these guys. I'm about to run through these guys and show y'all one by one. Like this 154 really mine, and I'm gonna shut everybody up. I can't wait. I hear the little chatters and all the little talks.
What do you hear?
and all that.
What's bothering you? What are people saying?
It's just little
They're
things.
questioning you?
Yeah, they questioning, and it's cool, and I love it. They're not doing nothing but like adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
And it's gonna make it worse each and every time for whoever's stepping in the ring with me.
Seeing what Terence did not that long ago, did that give you motivation? Because it feels like for the longest time, people were questioning him, doubting him. He wasn't getting the big opportunities, the big fights. Do you see yourself in his journey a little bit as well?
I mean,
Tim Bradley, the American former professional boxer, shared his doubts about the potential Vergil Ortiz versus Boots Ennis showdown. Bradley suggested that Ennis might hesitate to take that fight right now because of the high risk involved. He hinted that Ennis's team could be waiting for a bigger payday or a more strategic moment before signing on. His remarks quickly stirred debate throughout the boxing world, some fans insisting Ennis would jump at the chance, others agreeing it's wiser to let the tension build first. Either way, Bradley's words added fresh fuel to an already buzzing topic, making the growing rivalry between Ortiz and Ennis even harder for fans to ignore.
And then all of a sudden, you come up, you got that Benz now, you know what I'm saying? Back then they didn't want you, now you hot, they all on you. Yeah. This is one of them situations right here. Well, it's like, oh, back then you didn't want me. Now I'm hot, now you all up on me. Man, did you see Boots, how he jumped up in the ring? I didn't know if that was Boots or Rick Ross. I was like, damn, is that Rick Ross in there? Like, all the jewelry he had on and everything. I'm like, who the hell is this dude? Is this the grown-up version of Boots? Because I ain't never seen all them chick chains all over my man, blinging, blacka, bling, and all up on his chest and everything. I ain't never seen that before. I'm like, this dude got a new persona. Is this the killer Boots? This is what we've been waiting on? Because I'm sitting there going, this.
Promoter Eddie Hearn spoke candidly about the hurdles in making a potential Vergil Ortiz versus Jaron Ennis fight happen. He called out some of the demands from both camps, saying negotiations have been tough because each side feels their fighter deserves the bigger slice. Hearn explained that Ennis's team often insists he's the superior boxer, while Ortiz's camp wants fair credit for his record and strong fan base. He admitted that while this fight could be huge for boxing, it's currently tangled in business disputes and scheduling snags. Hearn even pointed out that, right now, it might actually be easier to arrange a Crawford versus Ortiz fight than to lock in Ortiz against Ennis. His words shed light on just how complicated big-time boxing deals can get, even when both fighters genuinely want to make the fight happen.
So, I thought it was a great performance. Vergil's a great fighter. This is not, there's nothing but respect from us, but we just know we win. And, it's not for us. Once you start hearing things like, we're the A side and we want 10 million and we want, what does Boots, it's like, what? Guys, Ortiz has never been a world champion. Great fighter. Boots has been world champion, he's been a unified champion, but neither of them are world champions now. They're just the top two fighters in the division. So if you truly believe that you're the best, make the fight. And it'll be really interesting to now see if they truly believe. Because the fight's there, the fight's done, the money's there, the pay-per-view's there. I mean, it's like, It's a massive fight, but you can find an excuse if you don't want to do it. So we'll see.
And obviously we saw the fighters face off, and we know you want the fight, the fighters clearly want the fight. And you mentioned the $10 million mark by Rick Merigian, I believe his name is, the manager of Vergil Ortiz. Do you see it as an obstacle? I mean, is it a real obstacle?
If you come out with things, you know, I mean, look, if the fight...
Vergil Ortiz recently shared his thoughts on Terence Crawford's current weight situation. He said he doesn't think Crawford will drop back down to 154 pounds, noting that the champion has bulked up and adapted his body to the higher divisions. After moving up to face Canelo Alvarez and preparing for middleweight bouts, Crawford's focus seems to have permanently shifted upward. Ortiz respects that, but admits it makes a potential matchup harder to arrange. He added that he's not standing still, he'll keep taking big fights in his own division. Still, he holds out hope that someday the timing might align and they could finally meet in the ring. Right now, the conversation around Ortiz, Crawford, and Jaron Ennis highlights just how thrilling the future of boxing looks in the higher weight classes. Ortiz's hunger and confidence are propelling his rise, while Crawford's calm, calculated approach reflects the mindset of a seasoned champion who knows his value.
Will you two fight at some point?
No, so he's not coming back to 154. I spoke to him. This is my first time saying it on media. I spoke to him, and he's not going to come back to 154. He's going to fight his 2 last fights and retire. And you know what? I respect it because he's been undisputed at 140, at 147. Get your money and get out. I mean, what else do you have to prove? You know what I mean? So it's just like it's.
That's a wrap for today's video. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.